Hi everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm going to do a little video response today to a tarot tag that I just learned has been cruelly overlooked. Now, I may not be the first person to actually respond to it now, but I was watching Simon from the Hermit's Cave. I love his channel. Link it below. I mean, I think everyone online knows Simon, but if you don't, he has a great channel. And he does these really fun live, just cuppa and catch up and chats. And I think it was in that one a couple days ago where he mentioned that he did a tarot tag that nobody responded to. And we can't have that. We can't have a lonely little tarot tag just drifting out there with nobody paying attention to it. So I thought I would respond. And the tarot tag was about backup decks and what backup decks you have and why you have them. Now, my response may not be particularly interesting because I only really have one main reason why I have backup decks, and that's because I had some great opportunity to get them. I feel like when I have an interest, I really dive in, and if I got into the mindset that I needed backup decks for all the decks that I loved, then it would be a disaster, a nightmare. So I try to really keep my eyes open for opportunities. If there's a deck that I love, to maybe pick up another one. So for example, this one I might bend on and just get another sort of full price one. I talked about my love for the Anna Kay indie edition of her tarot. It's beautiful. I love everything about it. The size is great. The images are great. The guidebook is mwah. And I can really see wear on those cards, which is great. Actually, I don't mind the worn look at all, but I do wonder, because it's independently produced, and what if she stops producing it and I want another one? But if I let myself get in that mindset, then I'll get that way for everything. So I try to be good. But I do have some duplicates of cards. So of course in this one day I'm going to do a video about my Smith-Waite decks. I don't have all of them, but I have a bunch. I have a lot, actually, a lot more than I use, but I love them all. So I pretty much consistently go back to my Centennial, but I guess I'll start there. So I'm not talking about all the different versions of the Smith-Waite that I have, the Hoi Polloi and the Pamela Coleman Smith and the Centennial Borderless and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that really counts as backups. But I do have one that's exactly the same. Oh, my Fitbit just went off when I was sitting down. Must be all my gesticulating. So I do have two copies of the plaid backs, and they're not even the same. They're not even the same ones, I don't think. I mean, there's lots of plaid back versions. The cardstock feels different in these. They're a little more laminated, a little less papery, but still not super glossy. I mean, again, I have a light right above me. One day I'll learn about where to shoot my videos correctly when the sun goes down. But I love them because my husband bought them for me at a garage sale. He saw them for $1 and he was like, hey, I know you like tarot decks. You're into that. And so it makes me so happy. I also think I should double check this, but I feel like the copyright on these is really tiny and unobtrusive compared to some other versions of this deck. So while I didn't have any desire to get another plaid back, particularly, he thought of me and he saw it, and it just makes me, he's the greatest, you guys. I got a really great husband in the world. So, sorry, I just mixed up my cards with another deck. That will not do. So that's why I have two of the plaid backs, and I keep them both out. The other one is my sort of original one, and talked about that a bunch of times. Okay, is there another order I should do this in? I guess ones that are sort of more special, and this one's kind of a cheat too. But I have the Halloween Tarot in a tin and regular old Halloween Tarot because I love this deck so much. Oops. And because it is adorable and awesome, and I can't do a video. It seems without talking about this deck. Everyone is sick of me talking about this deck. But I wanted both, and normally I don't like small decks. The only one I have two of that I love with a regular and a tin one is the Halloween Tarot and the Centennial Rider Waite. I have the Morgan Greer in tin, Don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't want that one to be small. I think maybe the drawings, the paintings are big and I want to say puffy, but that's not right. But they're close up. The people are big. The expressions are rounded. Like I don't want that in a small deck. So that one I'm going to be giving away at some point or selling maybe. But I've got somebody in mind that I think would like it that I'm going to give it to. So I also have 2 Morgan Greers. I've just picked one off of each, besides the Tarot in a Tin. This one is my favorite. It's older. It's not a first edition, I don't think. It's bigger than the other. I should maybe brought this for comparison, but it is a smidge bigger. So something has changed in the release of the full-size Morgan Greer, where this one is wider and I think a smidge taller. Yeah, I just don't want those images any smaller. I just love them the way they are. And I may be getting another Morgan Greer soon. I'll talk about that if I get it. But I love these cards. I love this deck. I just don't want the little ones. I can't explain it. I never reach for them, even though I reach for this deck all the time. And I never throw them in my bag, because if I throw one in my bag, it's going to be the Centennial. So I don't need it in a tin. Oof. God, sometimes when it's been a while, I forget. And that's actually a really special card for me in this deck. I've drawn it in some pretty awesome places. One more. Morgan Greer. Can't go wrong. And the reason I have 2 of these is I can't believe it, I bought this one at a Value Village, which in the States is Savers. You can see the box is just a disaster. There's pen on the Hermit card, which is a bit of a bummer, on the back, but I don't care, for $2.99. And then somebody else on Kijiji, which is like our Craigslist. I don't know if you guys have Kijiji in the States. Oh no, cards are falling everywhere. What was I talking about? Kijiji, like Craigslist, something like an online, like Facebook, marketplace kind of thing. And then somebody else was selling a deck for $5. So I have 2 Morgan Greer decks for the princely sum of $8. So you can't go wrong with that. Okay, I guess let's go with that vein for opportunity, because that's why I have 2 Morgan Greer decks, is opportunity. I wasn't going to order another one. It's mass produced. It's in print, right? So if I love a deck and I see an opportunity to get another one for a cheap price, then I will. But otherwise, I'm not going to fill up my space with all these duplicate decks. Also, though, in that same sale where I got my Morgan Greer for $5, I got the Pagan Otherworlds for 30 Canadian dollars. Ooh. So I haven't looked on this site for a while, but I think when I got my original Pagan Otherworlds, which I do not regret because it is such a work of art. I just love this deck. And it reads really great for me. I think I paid close to 100 Canadian dollars for it when shipping was included in, because our dollar is... and I was very happy with that. But when I saw this opportunity for 30 Canadian dollars, and because this one is such a high quality deck, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be in print, maybe forever. I don't know what their plans are, but if something happened to this one, I would be really disappointed and upset that I would have to pay so much to get it back. And then the moon cards, of course, are gorgeous. So I did splurge $30 to get another copy of the deck. Likewise, I also paid $30 in a different Kijiji sale for another copy of, I think it was even maybe $20. No, it was $20 of the Vampire Tarot. Now, I found this deck brand new in a bookshop in PEI, cellophane and everything, for $30 Canadian. And I was stunned because I know this one's hard to come by. And I couldn't believe it. And then when I saw someone selling their copy for $20, 2 years later, I was like, I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't pass it up. I have a lot of wishes and dreams about this deck. I wish it was on different cardstock. I wish it had rounded corners. I wish that it had different backs. I wish. But it's awesome. Robert Place is awesome. I feel like I've said this 100 times as well. But again, I wouldn't have, I mean, if you search it out on eBay or trades or whatever, it can just be a fortune, and I wasn't going to pay that. But given the opportunity to pick up another deck at $20, sure, yeah, I'll do that. Similar, and again, this is over a few years. And so again, I sort of just watch and see. I have 2 first editions of The Wild Unknown. Again, I talked in my last video, I think it was, about my experience becoming interested in tarot within a few weeks, buying a first edition Wild Unknown from an art shop in Toronto, and being really excited about it, just the images and the artwork. And I didn't know it was going to become such a cliche, and maybe it already was. Like I haven't been in the game that long. But it wasn't cliche to me. I just, even though I didn't know what to do with it for like a year and a half, because it's too pippy, I just didn't have a understanding of what the cards were. But then when again on Kijiji, an opportunity came up to purchase another first edition deck for $30. I thought, well, it's out of print in this edition. I love these backs. I feel like the move to the animal scale backs was just a real step down. I think because I just love trees so much, and this reminds me of the rings of the tree. It's super hypnotic when you look at it. I don't like the animal scale backs. I've heard on several videos people say they prefer the cardstock of the mass market edition because it's really good and easier to shuffle. And so I have also decided that if a version of that, of the mass market edition, comes out on Kijiji or something, then I'll get that. So I will do it, but I'm not going to pay full price for it because I already have 2 copies, and that's silly. Even though maybe I would enjoy shuffling the other one more. I do feel like the mass market one, it's going to be a Stupid White Men situation. You know that book, Stupid White Men by Michael Moore? And it was a really fun read. I like Michael Moore. I've actually had the opportunity to meet Michael Moore, and he was great. Anyway, when he wrote his book, Stupid White Men, it was a huge bestseller. And then 2 years later, my husband and I had this joke that every garage sale or every yard sale we went to, we would see a copy of that book. And I feel that Wild Unknown has been so popular that maybe it will have its Stupid White Men moment, and people will have bought it and they love it, and then they just sits around and they don't really use it or look at it, and they will start selling them off maybe, and that might be an opportunity for me to pick up another edition of it. Oh God, it's such a beautiful deck, and not cliche to me. So I have 2 first editions of that one, just in case. And I think I'm down to my last one. I am. I have, and these were also both a great deal. I was really lucky. I found the full Mythic Tarot set, again, on Kijiji. Reading cloth, which I don't like, but it's cool to have the set. Beautiful hardcover book. I'm going to make a video about this deck too. And pristine cards on Kijiji for $15. Again, this was quite early in my interest in tarot, but I did think these images were extremely beautiful. I really like this art style. And these are very famous. And I had read, I don't even know if the new Mythic was out yet. I don't know. I don't know anything, guys. But I just thought it was super pretty. And I liked it a lot, and I thought it would be a good way to learn more about myths, although I haven't really dived into it as much as I should. I do want to spend a lot of time with this deck, but I sort of acquired a bunch at once, and this one got shuffled to the back a bit. I particularly like, why do I do this to myself? I particularly like the Star, Pandora. I think that one's gorgeous. Oh, you guys know it. Why am I even... But, oh, look at that Queen of Wands with her lion. What a boss. Oh, there's lots of gorgeous ones in here. Where are you? Maybe I missed it. If last one. Look at that. I mean, it's amazing. So I was really happy with that. $15, awesome. Mythic. I don't love the art of the new Mythic. I don't like the redrawings. I'm sorry. I do not like it. And then no box, no little white book, but a different printing of the Mythic. It's the exact same drawings. It's not redrawn. Much thicker cardstock, which do without. I like the backs on the originals much better than I like these. Although I think there's even another version of these that has a much more obtrusive copy. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe that's obtrusive enough copyright. But I don't mind these backs. The cardstock is great. The drawings are great. And I found this again at Value Village, $2.99 in a plastic bag. No box, no book, complete deck. So I was like, $3. Heck yes. I will get that as a backup copy or just a duplicate copy or whatever. It was pretty exciting to find it. I didn't used to turn down any tarot back then, but since then I've seen tarot at Value Village that I have turned down, even though it's a really great price, because I know if I'm not going to love it and use it, someone else will be so happy to find someone. There's other people I know on tarot hunts like me. I've not picked up, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a little square black one that people quite like, much smaller. I think it comes in a kit with a little book. Just got like little colorful figures in the middle of each card, and the cards are not backings, the background of the card is totally black. I passed that one up. I passed up the Dishonored Tarot, which I don't really understand it. It might even be part of a game, but I put it back. It's funny. Took it off the shelf and I was like, no, I'm not into this. So I put it back on the shelf and I did a lap of the store and I came back and it was gone. So I was like, that's awesome. And also, Ciro Marchetti's, what is it? Not the Golden Tarot? What is it? What is his deck that comes with the Easy Tarot box? Anyway, he's a very talented artist. I don't like it. So I was pretty happy to find that one and leave it for somebody else because I know that one's actually also a very popular deck. Maybe it's called the Golden Tarot. Isn't that funny? I just can't remember what it's called. But the Fool looks like George W. Bush and I can't. It's gross. No, thank you. Nope. No. No. So anyway, that's my response to your tarot tag, Simon. Simon liked one of my videos, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I just like had this, I was so excited because I love his videos. So I hope you enjoyed this little talk about backups, and feel free to respond. Have a great night.